Welcome back. Last week we went through a warm-up for the neck that involved a couple active range of motion exercises as well as some isometric work. All of those were designed to help us avoid that head forward position, and this week we're going to get into some static stretching for the neck that will continue on that thread. So for all these stretches, we're going to hold them for 30 seconds and we're going to go through anywhere from about 2 to 3 sets on each side. So the first stretch we're going to go over is going to be an upper trapezius stretch. This stretch is designed to help us prevent that muscle from pulling the shoulder up, contributing to a rounded shoulder position, and it's also just going to give us back that full range of motion that we're looking for in the neck. So in order to stretch this muscle out, we want to start in a seated position and we want to grasp the bottom of the chair with our hand to help keep the shoulder blade pulled as far down as possible to maximize the potential for the stretch. So from there, in order to stretch my left side, I'm going to turn my head about 20 degrees to the right first, then I'm going to tuck the chin down towards the chest, bring the other hand up and over, and I'm going to start to just side bend away until I feel that tension coming from kind of the base of the neck here all the way down to the shoulder or down to the inside edge of the shoulder blade. We're dealing with a pretty big muscle here, so you may feel the stretch a little bit more towards the outside. You may feel the stretch a little bit more towards the inside. Just find the position that produces the best tension for you. So once again, we just grab onto the chair, pull the shoulder blade down, turn the head, tuck the chin, and then just start to side bend away. Don't be scared to play around a little bit with a little more or a little less rotation with this movement, as it'll change which fibers of that musculature are being stretched. So the next stretch we're going to talk about is a neck side flexion stretch, and this is designed to hit some of the musculature in the side of the neck, particularly the scalenes. This can be really useful to prevent issues like thoracic outlet syndrome, where we get impingement of the nerves as they pass through that region, and it's also just going to help us once again keep that great range of motion. So for this one, we'll still grasp onto the chair. So if I'm trying to stretch the left side, I'm going to grab the left hand onto the bottom of the chair. From there, I'm going to keep the head nice and level and make sure I'm just strictly side bending down to the side in order to build that tension right in through the side of the neck, and it can ride all the way down to the shoulder. And we'll just get there, hold for 30 seconds. So the last stretch that we're going to cover today is one for the SCM or sternocleidomastoid muscle. Now that's the muscle that hooks up at the base of the skull here and comes all the way down, connecting into the sternum and the collarbone. Now this muscle works primarily as a neck flexor, pulling the head forward or down, but when it gets overly tight, its shortening can pull the head into that head forward position that we're trying to avoid. So in order to stretch this guy, we're going to want to start by stabilizing the collarbone, and we're going to do that by setting our hand over the collarbone so that it's resting right in this little groove between the index finger and the thumb. So if I'm going to stretch my left side, I'm going to set this on top of the collarbone. Other hand can clap on top just to help keep everything down. From there, I'm going to make sure I keep my mouth closed during this stretch, because if we open the jaw up, we'll find we'll lose quite a bit of tension with it. So in order to get set for this one, I like to start by turning about 20 degrees to the opposite side. Then I'm going to look as high up towards the sky as I can. From there, I'm going to side bend away, producing tension right down the fibers here in the front of the neck. And that covers pretty much everything we're going to go over in this video series for the neck. Thanks for tuning in, and check back next week where we'll start getting into the shoulders.